Do you suffer from overthinking, like the thoughts in your mind just never seem to switch off? Don't worry, you're not alone and I know how it feels. In this video, let me explain why you overthink and then guide you to a place of stillness and peace. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Cully. So what exactly is overthinking? I'm sure you'd agree it's like being caught in a never-ending cycle of thoughts where you obsessively analyze, replay scenarios and worry about every little detail. And then you go on to create scenarios in your mind that do not and will not ever exist. But here's the thing, overthinking isn't something you're born with. It's actually a habit that you've developed over time. And one of the biggest reasons on why you've developed that habit is due to your childhood experiences and the environment you grew up in. For example, if you were raised in a home where thoughts and emotions weren't communicated in a healthy way, but instead anger and shaming were more prevalent, then it's likely that you grew up not learning how to express yourself emotionally in a healthy way. And as an adult, this can then cause you problems because when you repress your feelings, they're still going to come out, but they're going to come out in other ways, like from a place of anger or a place of fear. This can then go on to explain why you're experiencing states of anxiety or states of depression. And it's important to note that that's not your fault. You didn't choose the childhood you experienced. I mean, depending on your spiritual beliefs, maybe you did. But you do need to accept, as an adult, it's your responsibility to heal from your childhood experiences. Now, if you were raised in a home where your emotions weren't validated as real or important, then it's very likely that as an adult, you haven't developed a strong sense of self-worth, and that would explain why you may struggle with feeling not good enough. Have you ever wondered why you overthink? One reason is the fear of making a mistake. Another reason would be the fear of the unknown. You see, your mind is constantly trying to protect you from potential harm. It wants to keep you safe. And that's actually a pre-programmed survival instinct, which is a good thing. However, we're no longer in danger of being harmed by a saber-toothed tiger, right? So the mind has to find new things to protect us from. And the mind does this by creating a false sense of security, by overthinking and over-analyzing things. But when you do this, you're no longer in the present moment. Rather, you're actually living in your own head and you're wondering what could happen next, or how will it affect you, or how will it hurt you? When you overuse your mind to avoid yourself or to cope with situations that are difficult to deal with, you're going to miss out on valuable information that your nervous system is trying to provide you, because your internal world is constantly trying to communicate with you, but it's not going to send you a text message or a video call. It can only communicate to you through your emotional state of being. And if you haven't learned how to communicate with yourself and understand why you go into overdrive, then you're going to hold yourself back from a lot of growth and a lot of opportunities. So let me share 3 techniques to help you take back control of your mind and stop overthinking. So technique number 1, the power of awareness. Now imagine you're driving a car and suddenly you notice that you've made a wrong turn. What would you do? You've become aware of the mistake you've made and you'll make the necessary correction, right? So in the same principle, becoming aware of your overthinking habits is the first step to change, because you can only change what you're aware of. You have to become the observer of your thoughts without any judgment or without any attachment, because that judgment or that attachment is what creates the emotion that you've then attached to your thoughts. You have to literally detach yourself from your own thoughts. Imagine you're in a crowded market and instead of getting swept up in the noise and chaos, you zoom out. You take a bird's eye view and simply observe the scenes below you. You become aware of the sights, sounds, and sensations without getting emotionally involved in everything happening around you. This detached observation allows you to gain clarity and then make conscious choices. When you become aware that you're overthinking, in that moment, you have to create a space between you and your thoughts. This space gives you the power to choose which thoughts to entertain and which ones to let go of. Another technique is shifting perspectives. So very often we see problems as obstacles or threats, and they cause you to overthink and then get stuck. But what if you start viewing those problems as opportunities for growth? Think about it like this. Everything you go through, you can actually grow through if you open your mind and allow yourself to. Every time you encounter an obstacle, instead of getting frustrated, you see it as an opportunity to sharpen your skills and level up. Well, the same thing applies here. Shifting your perspective from seeing problems as a negative to viewing them as opportunities allows you to reframe your thought process. By accepting and even inviting challenges and looking at them as learning experiences, this allows you to shift your mind from being your worst enemy to it becoming your best friend. This shift allows you to make your decisions more confidently and more consciously. And when you're making more confident and conscious decisions, you'll naturally notice the overthinking slowly begin to reduce. So the third technique, embracing mindfulness. Now picture a moment where you were completely present and you were completely immersed in the experience. There were no phones, you weren't taking any photos or videos, and you didn't have any headphones on either. It was just you in that present moment. This is the art of mindfulness. Now by incorporating techniques like meditation or deep breathing exercises, you can train yourself to become more aware of the present moment. Meditation will help you let go of the worries that you have about the past or the future. It will help you break the habit of overthinking, because it makes you realize the future and the past doesn't even exist. It literally only exists in your mind or in your imagination. Now to sum it all up, we've explored the nature of overthinking, we've explored how it's a habit we've learned from childhood, and we've also introduced 3 powerful techniques: the power of awareness, shifting perspectives, and embracing mindfulness. Remember, to stop overthinking, you have to first understand why you overthink in the first place. You have to get to the root. The techniques I've shared with you today are a great way to start unlearning the habit of overthinking. But remember, it's a gradual process and it will take time to change a habit of many years. Now that's all I've got for you in this video. Share your thoughts with me in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed the video and if you got some value from it, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe and check out some of my previous videos, and I'll see you in the next one.